Hi Year 5 and welcome to your next topic lesson, okay, which is where we're going to look at animals of the rainforest, alright? So you're not going to have to listen to me talking too much, okay, but this is the worksheet you've got in your pack. We're going to watch a bit of a video in a minute, because what I want you to think about is the type of animal, because obviously it says to design your own rainforest animal. This video goes into detail about what animals are on which layer of the forest. Those are things you've got to take into account. It's not just a random animal. Okay, think about the features it's going to need, okay, labeling those features, colouring it, okay. Right, so first of all, let's watch the video and then we can go from there.
Live in the rainforest. Is the tapir a mix of wild boar and anteater? And what kind of animal actually is the okapi? Now in Animals in the Rainforest. Tropical rainforests are dense forests with high trees. It's very warm and sticky the whole year through, and there are frequent cloudbursts with heavy rain. Did you know that more than half of all animals and plant species live in the rainforest? It's the world's most biodiverse habitat. Rainforests can be found in many regions near the equator. You can imagine the equator as a line marking the border between the northern and the southern hemisphere. Rainforests exist in Africa, Asia, Australia, Central America, and South America. The forest floor. In the tropical rainforest, there are several floors. Just like in a house, the forest floor is the ground floor. It consists of roots, soil, and leaves. The plants do not get much sunlight, and therefore do not grow very densely. This is mainly the habitat of insects, amphibians, and reptiles. Who lives on the ground floor? Are there any dog cookies? I'll take a look. The tapir is one of the few bigger mammals living there. It looks like a mix of wild boar and anteater. However, it's not related to them, but with horses and rhinos. The okapi also lives in the rainforest. It's a kind of forest giraffe, feeding on leaves and buds. The forest floor is also the home of pygmy hippos, gorillas, and tigers. The understory. Little plants, ferns, vines, and shrubs grow in the understory of a rainforest. Here, you find animals that are good at climbing, such as the chameleon. With its feet, it can grasp branches, and it also has a prehensile tail to hold onto them tightly. Due to its slow movements, it can easily be mistaken for a leaf. The squirrel monkey is not able to use its tail to hold on to branches. It serves as a kind of balancing pole instead. The coati feeds on insects, spiders, and fruit. It enjoys its life in the trees so much that it even stays up there at night and actually sleeps on a branch. The canopy. Okay, now let's go upstairs. Maybe the dog cookies are here. The canopy is the highest habitat in the tropical rainforest. 80% of the rainforest animals live here. A particularly cute rainforest bird is the toucan. Although its bill appears to be extremely heavy, it's very light because it's hollow inside. With its sharp edges, the toucan cracks fruit and nuts. Who would have thought that large and heavy apes, such as the orangutan, live in trees? They're rarely seen on the ground and spend most of their time up in the canopy. The sloth almost spends its entire life up in the trees. Its claws resemble meat hooks and save the sloth from falling down. As the sloth always hangs on branches upside down, they have their fur parting on the belly instead of its head and back. The Animal Fun Facts Roundup. There are 3 habitats in the rainforest. There's the forest floor, the understory, and the canopy. Each of them is the home of another group of animals.
Okay, so from that you can see, okay, if I just take it back a step, okay, these are just some of the animals that live on these layers, okay, not all of them, because there won't be a video long enough in the world to go through all of the animals that live there, okay, so these are just some, okay. If you didn't quite manage to pick up what features the animals have to make it better to live in that habitat. So, for example, I know that for the canopy, they talked about the sloth's claws, okay, because they have claws which are like meat hooks, so they can grip onto things, okay. So, I just close that. Okay, so You need to design your own, okay, rainforest creature, okay? Now, it says it can live in all 4 layers of the forest, okay? Now, I'm going to say that you have a bit of flexibility with that. If you've really got a burning desire for one animal just to live in the canopy and that's what you want to design, that's absolutely fine, okay? So it says make sure it has the ability to move freely in the emergent layer, the canopy, the understory, and the forest floor. Colour is very important in the rainforest, as some animals want to stand out and others want to stay hidden. So that's like camouflaging the animals. So chameleons are able to camouflage, aren't they? Okay. But things like the macaws, okay, the bright blue macaws, they wouldn't stay very hidden, would they? Because they are bright blue. Okay, so these are things you all need to consider before you start designing your animal. Now, if you want to have a quick go on the back of that sheet and do a rough copy of it, that's absolutely fine. Okay, if not, you can get straight onto the sheet designing your animal. Please make sure if it's going to be colourful, it's nice and brightly colourful. If not, when you label it, okay, make sure you say why it's either camouflage. Okay, what's the purpose of that? Why would an animal need to be camouflaged? Okay, think of those things. Has it got something to do with predators that may try and find it? And if it's camouflaged, they may have a bit more difficulty. Okay, if you want to add an extra feature, okay, so if you think, right, well, this animal now needs a tail because it needs to be able to hang from the trees, then that's fine as well. Okay, I'm interested to see how creative you can be and what you can come up with.